Hit cord. It's on now.
It's on now. Okay. Okay, guys, welcome to this episode of Talking Jits and Giggles. Like
21.
normal. What is it?
It's 21.
Bullshit.
True shit.
Okay, fair enough then. I believe you.
Yeah. I'm He-Man. I mean, I get shit wrong.
What we got is, we ran it out there. Thank you for Marvia Fightwear. Look, he's got a whole heap of new stuff coming in very soon. So make sure you keep an eye on his website. 52%. Make sure you, Bryan will talk about that in a minute. Who else we got? We got Dan Revley Building. If you're here in Christchurch, Open Palm Massage Therapy, Neanderthal.co.nz.
Yeah.
Burning
Needles Tattoo.
Burning Needles Tattoos. Holy shit. What else do we have? I know I'm missing something. Did I say Open Palm Massage?
You did twice there.
Look at that.
One for each hand.
They got a double plug.
Double pump.
Yeah, okay. I think that's where we're heading with that one. So thanks, guys. The 03 apparel. They'll be hitting at the website very soon. So make sure you check them out when they come.
Yes.
So we have no, we won't introduce them just yet, but Bryan's got a thing to talk about in there.
So we our good friends at 52% have made these awesome masks, which are good if you've got real bad breath and if you've got a COVID pandemic, which we do. So we've got a giveaway going on. I'll chuck it onto the Instagram page. Well, by the time this goes live, it'll be already on there. There's 2 to give away, so we'll do a wee competition on there. So if you haven't jumped on there, jump on there, like, share, do what it says, and win.
You're not giving away the one you just had out of your mouth, though, eh?
Oh yeah, that one's special. That one's like on Pawn Stars on that TV show. I'll take that in, and Chumley will give me fucking millions for it. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, well, tonight we have Ben Venn. Welcome, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
And I mean, we have a very talented jiu-jitsu person, and also a very talented physio, and
great moustache too, by the way.
Oh yeah, great moustache, great moustache.
I've been working on it since the start of the year, because I can't grow facial hair, so I had to start months in advance.
You did it just for this show. You knew you were coming on, so you thought I'll grow it for it. Hey, look, mate. What we normally do is just hit it off about yourself, really, just about where you started any martial art to get to where you are now.
Preferably karate.
Yeah,
well, it's funny you should mention that. So yeah, once upon a time in a land far, far away, closer to Ireland than to New Zealand. I grew up in a town called Preston, which is near Manchester, and and I started karate at the time because my dad used to be really close with the sensei at the time. So I did that for a few years, and then for whatever reason the club folded, and I ended up going into kickboxing and kung fu, and I did that for a few years. And then, when I was about 10 years old, I ended up moving up to Aberdeen.
Aberdeen! I love that word.
Then we restarted karate up in Aberdeen, and I did that right up into my teens, where I ended up getting my teenage black belt, which was pretty cool. But then that kind of dropped off the radar as I was getting older and went to university, and alcohol and all that kind of took precedence.
Real cool stuff started.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, funny how that happens. So then I ended up finishing uni and moved up back home, and my mum ended up having a health scare. She ended up getting breast cancer.
Oh.
And I kind of looked at my life, and I was thinking, I was drinking, smoking, partying, just it wasn't very healthy. And mum actually suggested, well, why don't you get back into martial arts, because you were always fittest and healthiest when you're doing that. So at the time, one of my best mates, a guy called Tom, he also wanted to start doing. Oh, friend.
Fucking rave.
Oh, I have to ring him back.
Oh,
I can't talk while I'm talking on here.
who was it?
Jason Ringdale.
Oh,
I'll get back to you. Carry on, Ben. Carry on, man.
Anyway, so my mate Tom wanted to start getting into something as well. So we ended up going and there was like an MMA school up where we were staying, which ended up being the place that I went and started training jiu-jitsu at. So that was at the Carlson Gracie gym under the head coach was Peter Richardson. And I started there in December 2012. And at the time, it wasn't just BJJ that I was doing. There was like the MMA class, there was the Muay Thai class, there was the Jiu-Jitsu, there was also the Jeet Kune Do class as well, which was pretty cool. And then in June 2013, so after I'd been training that for about 6 months, I ended up moving to New Zealand. I moved to Christchurch. And so that was on a mate's recommendation, just because there was no work for physiotherapists really in Scotland at the time. So I just
Did you have a job lined up, or did you just come down hoping to get a job?
Moved to New Zealand.
Yeah, I just totally came over on a recommendation. So I came on a 1 year working holiday visa.
22-hour flight. Yeah, just take that one.
Yeah. I came over on a working holiday visa. Ended up getting a job at a bar, and I worked like 6 shifts at this bar. Then ended up getting a job as like a duty officer at a leisure centre, and then through that leisure centre there was a physio clinic, and I just went in one day with the CV and just said, "Hey, give me a job," and that was that. So then in Christchurch, basically straight off the bat, I'd taken a gi with me, and I was kind of looking around at the different clubs, different clubs in Christchurch, and I kind of because I was into a bit of everything at the time, and then I ended up focusing more on the Muay Thai, and went and trained with Wayne and Sue Gullery.
Yeah.
And ended up doing that for about 6 months until I popped my shoulder.
Oh, Mr. Vega.
Yeah.
Deadly gym, that is. That's a deadly gym, though.
Yes.
Oh,
That's some really talented
man, too.
Thai fighters out of there.
Top dude.
Killers, absolute killers. And they trained so hard as well. I still to this day, I was never as fit as when I trained at that gym. Like it was awesome time. But yeah, so I ended up having a couple of just kickboxing fights out of that gym. But in the second one, I ended up popping my shoulder, and so because of that, I ended up kind of walking away from the striking kind of stuff, and came and found you guys and started training with you guys basically more and more.
I actually can still remember it was a Saturday because no one else turned up. It was me and Stefan, and you rocked in, and you were like, "Oh, 2 more guys my same size." And I looked at Stefan, and we've been going quite hard, and I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, let's just go for it." That was good though. It was good. Glad to reignite your interest in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, 100%. It was that was it. It was, yeah. I after that stint in Muay Thai, I was just like, I needed something that I could look after my body a wee bit more, because in Thai, people are trying to just pick on your weaknesses, and they're trying to just focus on those areas. So if you can't protect yourself properly, then I just didn't feel safe. Whereas with jiu-jitsu, I felt I was a lot safer. I could tap. If people went anywhere near my shoulder, then I would just stop, reset, and then just go again.
Yeah.
So you're a purple belt now.
I am a purple belt.
Yes, under Jeff Grant.
I'm burgundy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're training now in Wellington.
Yeah, in Wellington. Yeah. So I moved up here for work in August 2016.
Who do you work for?
So I'm the Wellington Phoenix Football Club. I moved up here for the job, and yeah, I've been here ever since.
So you're a professional sports physio.
I am, yeah.
that I
Like-
ring sometimes.
Help.
Help!
who
body's
you
sore.
rung 2 months ago because you were hurt. Yeah.
Yes, I was. And now I'm better. I feel way better now. Anyway, I keep doing those exercises you told me to do. Showed
At
me
the
way
moment.
back when.
Good.
Because Bryan hurt me.
Oh, fuck up. You didn't
Oh.
tap out, so it doesn't count.
That's right. Never counts if you don't tap. Okay, so you moved up there. Tell us, into your jiu-jitsu journey and that. I mean, because obviously you said you hurt your shoulder. You had a few injuries through jiu-jitsu and that kind of stuff, but you just keep plugging at it and keep doing it.
Yeah, so, yeah, my big story is probably just injuries, isn't it? So back in, I think I wrote it down somewhere. Back in 2014, I did my right shoulder and ended up getting open surgery. So I got a nice big vagina scar on my shoulder now.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
My
But
kids
that's-
listen to this.
That put me out for 6 months. And then in 2017, I ended up doing exactly the same thing to my left shoulder and ended up getting surgery on my left shoulder, which put me out another 6 months.
But at least you've got symmetry scars.
Well, no, I don't. The left one was closed. It was like arthroscopic surgery.
Oh,
So I have
bullshit.
a big scar.
Take it back. I want a big scar.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
And have you had
mine-
any major injuries since then?
Nah.
No.
Since this reconstructive surgery on both shoulders.
Well, after they put adamantium in you, then you're kind of all right. So.
It's
Yeah.
good. Have you ever competed much? Or have you ever competed? Is that something you'd want to do? Or
No, I have. Yeah, I have. After the last surgery I took, it was after about a year, I decided, right, my body now feels like it's at a place where I can get competing. And I'd never done jiu-jitsu competitions before. It was just the Muay Thai stuff that I'd done before. And so I ended up doing a no-gi competition last year sometime here in Wellington, and yeah, that was heaps of fun. I ended up fighting one of my training buddies in the first match, and because it was at blue belt, all I was trying to do was wrist lock him. And I got him at one point, and I spoke to him afterwards because I didn't get him. It went into overtime, and it was like EBI rules, and he ended up getting me with an armbar really quick. I just didn't feel right, so I just tapped, done, fine, who cares? And he says to me afterwards, yeah, I was never actually going to tap to that wrist lock, but fuck, it hurt. I was like, yeah.
I know. God,
Yeah.
actually, same thing happened to me just the other day when I was wrestling Forest, because we're going through a wrist loss system at the moment for training. And yeah, he wrist locked me, but I said to Bryan the other day, I said, man, no, like for the first 10 seconds, oh god damn, it hurt. It bloody hurt. It was so close from getting me, but then it's just like I had managed to just squeeze my little self out of it. But yeah, the old wrist locks. Actually enjoying the wrist locks. We're going to have a wrist lock competition, I think. So Naz, we're teaching them. It's all good. I don't think the wrists don't really like it though.
Nah, there's no real recovery. You can't really stretch your wrists. Go out and sit there and pretend to fish. We've got rage sticks.
So
I did that no-gi one, and then just before I got promoted to purple, I ended up doing the regional competition up the Kapiti Coast, and yeah, I ended up. It was just me and one other guy in the bracket because we're so small.
Came third?
Pardon?
Did you come third? Sorry, you carry on.
Well, it was supposed to be 3 fights, and then it's kind of the best of 3. But I ended up beating him in the first one, and then he didn't want to come out in the second one. So
Like a bully.
Yeah, you must have bullied him. So for the guys that actually don't know, Ben, how tall are you, Ben, and what do you weigh?
So I am 5'3.5" on a good day, and at the moment. At the moment, because I'm in quarantine and I'm eating loads of chocolate, I'm about 64 kilos.
Wow, you fat bastard.
I know.
Jesus. Leave the chocolate alone, mate. Leave the chocolate alone.
But then the worst thing about my job is working with professional athletes all the time. They make you feel so self-conscious because these guys are all, shredded, look the absolute bit, and then you're just like, oh, crap. Okay, I'll go back to my chocolate.
Pass me the donuts, man.
makes me feel better about myself, you know?
You get more
Well,
donuts.
mind you, though, you could probably tap most of them. I say most because I don't know all of them.
So yeah, none of them do jiu-jitsu, unfortunately. That would have been really handy, especially because we've been in lockdown for the last 3 months. Yeah, and I had nobody to wrestle, so everyone always makes fun of me because I really want to wrestle someone, and they don't want to.
It's probably not really productive, like a efficient sport to do soft football with, is it? A non-contact.
Yeah.
Non-contact
What you should
sport.
do though is when someone's like slightly injured, you go, look, if you just stretch your leg here and then leg there and put your arm here and then swing an armbar on them, mate.
Yeah. Grab under the Achilles and just
All jokes aside, though, do you reckon leg pummeling would be effective or quite helpful for football, for tackling and things like that, or not really?
No, definitely not.
I'm just trying to think of angles for you to pitch it to the coach.
Yeah. So I do lead like stretch and mobility sessions, and the senior boys all do take the piss about how I'm doing like wrestling stretches and this, that, and the other. But yeah, they're kind of just generic stretch and mobility exercises, which happen to include like hip opens, hip closes.
Are you wearing a gi when you do it?
I wish. I actually took a gi with me just on the off chance that I could train, but we ended up being in lockdown the whole time, so I couldn't.
So look, we'll touch on this just a wee bit, just so think you're in lockdown at the moment in Wellington, Auckland.
In Wellington, yeah.
In Wellington, so you guys are in lockdown in Wellington. How's it going? So how long have you been in lockdown for?
So we flew here. We got back on Tuesday. So this is now day 3 of lockdown.
Oh my gosh.
My room is tiny little room with a bed and a TV and a desk. And yeah, we're here for another 11 days, 14 days in total. My maths is bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Carry the one
times it by 0.
October.
Yeah.
So we get so we're basically in here. You get your 3 meals delivered to your room every day. You get an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon that you're allowed to go and exercise in like a confined little area, which is all barriered off, so it means that you can't escape.
Oh, bro, are you actually in the hotel or prison, bro?
Well.
Managed isolation.
Managed isolation.
It's all about the way you word it. I'm a trolley captain of the supermarket. I don't.
Hell prison, isn't it? But no, it's good. Like, you know, we've come back from a country which has got a scary amount of coronavirus, you know, and so although we were in a relatively safe environment with being in our own sort of hotel lockdown, there's still that risk, isn't there? So
yeah, and you guys were in, like I said earlier, we talked a wee bit before we started recording, but you were in Sydney, not Melbourne, weren't you?
Yeah, we were in Sydney. Yeah, we were staying in Parramatta.
Yep. Yeah,
which was really frustrating as well because so there's a gym in Parramatta that you've put me in touch with before, Hayden.
Yeah. Oh, Jason and George.
Yeah, so I was like, sweet, I'll pack my gi because I trained there last year when we went to Sydney on pre-season.
Yeah.
I'll pack all my stuff and hopefully coronavirus just goes away a wee bit so I can go and get some training in. And then like the whole time just cases. Nah. So it's just a kick in the teeth. Didn't get to train at all. Yeah.
Oh shit, Lord. So okay, so now you're back in New Zealand. What are you jiu-jitsu wise? I mean, obviously you got your strategy for your your team that you look after, but what's your goals for jiu-jitsu?
So I'm desperate to just get back. I've been speaking to Jeff every week, catching up with him, and I obviously follow them on Facebook and that as well. So just chomping at the bit to get back in again. So I think we get out of here on I think it works out as a Tuesday, and Wednesdays are usually like the fundamentals class. So I'll just be going straight to that, and then that'll be me.
Oh, nice. So any forward competing for you though? Do you think like there's a few comps coming up and around, or do you think you need to get yourself back into it for a wee bit?
Nah, so I've been using my I would say one of my big issues is obviously my shoulders and trying to keep them fit and strong.
And your weight, you fat bastard, 64
And
kg.
so I was trying to use, you know, that time that we were away just to try and get some stability back into my shoulders and some strength back into my shoulders again, and just giving my shoulders a good chance to just settle down again, because you always get little tweaks and stuff here and there. You know, it's easy enough to pick and choose your partners, but then even then you can get caught in the moment sometimes, and then, you know, a Kimura just gets cranked that wee bit too much and it leaves you sore for the next 10 days, you know.
How are your shoulders feeling? They feel better?
Yeah, like they have their moments. They definitely
Sleeping
have their
longer?
moments. I do pick and choose my partners. I'm careful about, you know, I definitely try and go with the more senior guys, and then I try and pick people who are closer to my body weight as well.
Yeah.
Which is actually, it's easy. It's not too hard to do it at GSW, because you've got like some really high level black belts who, funnily enough, are kind of my size as well. So you got like Pat, who's, you know, he's maybe got 10 kilos on me, but like, yeah, he's fucking awesome to roll with. And then Amy, his wife, who is, she's about my weight, you know, and she's just amazing to roll with as well. And then you got a bunch of brown belts as well, you know, similar kind of story. So.
Oh, nice.
You got a new black belt too, didn't you? I saw it on
Yeah,
Instagram.
you know, yeah, he just got promoted the other night, so I sent him a big message just saying congratulations on that as well. But even Shano, he's my size, you know, and he's been training, I think, a bunch of years. So yeah, heaps of experience.
That picture was awesome, but just the size of his smile, I think, improved my day. I was like, oh, good on you, mate. You should make me feel better.
It's
Shed some tears.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my goal. Definitely, kind of coming back to your question. I definitely want to try and get back competing once I get back home and back into the swing of things again. There's a few competitions down in the South Island. So now that we're going to have a bit of an off season, I'm going to try and convince the missus to do a bit of a road trip and see if I can come down and compete. And
come down, mate. Come down. October.
Run.
There's one in Christchurch in October.
Yeah,
Ooh,
as long as we're still off, then yeah, because like work's the biggest thing for me. Is, you know, it really restricts when I can actually come and travel and when I can compete and whatnot.
How long between seasons?
Usually a few months. But
The season's a bit different. You've done pretty well too.
Yeah. With coronavirus, we don't really know when we're getting back into it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of flying a bit blind at the moment with planning and whatnot. So we might be getting back into October, November, who knows?
Oh wow! See what happens in that one. Yeah, well, it'd be good to have you back down this way. Like you were saying, there's a few comps coming up. I'll just whack them out there as well. So you've got Dunedin. There's a South Island. I think it's on Smooth Comp. The South Island Grappling Champs or something like that. That's in September, October. There's that new one. Is it Mana?
Oh, Mana Championship.
Mana Championship
as well.
Southern one. That's in October. Christchurch in October. Or Queenstown in November. Nationals, I think, are in Auckland. I'm not too sure about Wellington if they've got any other comps, but that's quite interesting. Do you do a bit of no-gi, or do you just mainly do gi?
So I used to hate no-gi. Like you remember that when I was down there, I used to absolutely hate no-gi. But I'm now enjoying it a wee bit more and more. I still much prefer the gi. I would take a gi any day. But every now and then I do go to some of the no-gi classes at GSW as well.
Got to do no-gi though. I do one class a week, but we're a gi school. But I love just that every now and then just letting it rip no-gi.
Yeah, I think no-gi is more 100%. Like everyone goes a lot harder in no-gi than in the gi. I like no-gi, but yeah, I've got to bring my A game and go real hard. It's like, I can't bother going, huh?
Yeah, like, well, the way our weekly classes are structured, if I don't have work on a Saturday morning, then I'll go to the Nogi open mat, and then that'll be my kind of Nogi for the week.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But yeah,
Because I see the, like I say, I see that mana. It is mana, isn't it? Is it? That's what's called mana submission grappling. Like they've put a post up today around the Nogi kind of joining their kind of organisation, which it seems pretty cool.
On Facebook or Instagram?
I think it was on Facebook, man. They put a post up there, which, I just think in general, some people are starting to do some really good stuff with jiu-jitsu in New Zealand. Obviously Steve Oliver has been around for a while, and he's really pushed the competition scene. But now you got guys like Core, they do the submission grappling ones, and Bryan and I still don't know who's actually running this mana submission grappling kind of thing.
I think it's Tukaha. I don't know.
I don't know if it is, man. I don't know. But anyway, we'll have that debate still.
Someone just tell us the answer and we can just stop asking about it.
Yeah, that's right. Ben, do you know? But it's quite cool. So
who runs mana?
Yeah,
Siri doesn't know either.
So what they're trying to do is they've got they're trying to really push the submission grappling for like ADCC kind of stuff, and have a New Zealand team. And they've got trials for like South, Central, North, and then I think they've got selectors. I think something like that. Is this
for the ADCC one? Yeah. I've just read it now. So they put up all the 4 competitions, and you've got a podium. If a podium finished in any one of those, then you've got to sign the commitment agreement. That's interesting. That's number 2. So that must be pretty good to read. Attend 90% of the team training in your region, 1 national training camp, and personal conduct of being a New Zealand representative. I like that. I quite like that. So you got to be a good dude and not a dick. Whoa. Follow nutrition plans and regular strength and conditioning fitness tests. Wow, that's pretty full on. This is good though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was quite a full on read today. I thought, oh Jesus.
Oh, this is cool. The last one is communicate your physical and mental well-being to your regional coaches. So yeah, they want you to look out for yourself so they can look out for you. I like that. This is cool. I like this.
Yeah. And they got the
stuff as well. Huh?
What was that, bro?
So I'm saying it's good that they're involved in the mental side of things as well, not just being the physical. Like,
it's a mass thing, eh? It's massive these days.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, it's that extra little 1%, isn't it? You've got the big thing that we learned about was you go to the Olympics, and all these Olympian, like the 100-meter runners, they all have done a personal best at one point or another to get there to the Olympic finals. But so on the day, any one of them should be running faster than they've ever run before. But for whatever reason, and it's usually the mind side of things, that's why they can't perform on that day, so.
Well, it's like anything when you compete though, isn't it? The same thing. You put your headphones on, you try to get your mind into a space where you feel comfortable, and then you go out and everything just works. Or, you go out there and try and not everything works, and your mind starts fading or going somewhere else or doing something different because something didn't work on that day. It's hard losing.
It's a it's a nervous game, and especially jiu-jitsu because you've got a gi on, so you're constantly going to fucking for a piss, and you've got to keep undoing your gi. You're going to piss on your gi. Oh man, I got a white gi. What if I fucking shit myself in the middle of the fight?
Oh, bro, you always got to take it that 1 foot, don't you?
Oh man, it's stressful. I always thought about it when I competed.
Watch YouTube. It happens.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
So, have you trained? So, you mentioned a wee bit before, mate. You when you've been to Sydney last year, you went and trained at I think it's Gracie Hamad, as it episode in Parramatta. Have you trained anywhere else though, mate? Like
yeah.
In your jiu-jitsu, when you are doing jiu-jitsu full on?
Yeah, definitely. So I obviously I get to travel quite a bit with my work now, and whenever I do travel, I always take a gi with me. And I always try and find somewhere that's relatively close to where I'm staying. And then it's also on people's recommendations as well. So like your one with the Gracie gym in Parramatta, I made a list. I've actually made
Oh, look at this.
So
I'm glad someone is, because we ain't.
Yeah, I don't have headphones.
Preparing to fail. Come on.
Bless
So in Melbourne, there was a Carlson Gracie gym there, a guy, Ben Hall. So I trained
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Oh, that's where Scotty trained.
He came down to Christchurch.
Scotty Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Top
Yeah,
gym.
nice.
Alliance in Brisbane.
Oh.
So that's Bruno.
Yeah.
And I remember going there. That was a few years ago now as well. He's like my size.
He's very good.
A little bit bigger, and he was a machine, like unbelievable. So
Nice.
there's a Hibero gym in Perth. I went and trained there. A few months ago. They were
Nice.
Gracie Parramatta, and then is it Submission Lab down in Dunedin? I've trained down there.
Yes.
Yep.
Those were really welcoming. They were really cool down there. And then obviously just the gym back in Scotland, the Carlson Gracie gym back in Scotland. Whenever I go back, they always open the doors for me there.
So how do you find yourself when you travel? Like, obviously you would have been a blue belt and then a purple, and then it's like anything. It's like the eyes all, even at the gym, like even someone new walks through the door and everyone's like, oh yeah, I'll wrestle that person. How have you found it, like going to all those different gyms, and then also how have you found your jiu-jitsu has gone?
Yeah, so
while you're there?
I'm always really friendly and polite, and I find that whenever I go to places, you always like message them early and just ask if it's all right. And that everywhere that I've been before, I've always been really welcoming, and then everyone on the mats is really friendly as well, and everyone wants to know who you are and where you're coming from and what your story is. So that's always really good. And then in terms of like how I go when I'm rolling with other people, I end up always just going into defensive mode, and people always just try and beat me up, and you just try to look after yourself. But
like you're in a Shark Tank every time you walk through the door.
I get that here in Wellington because I'm so small anyway, that everyone's always bigger than you, so you just
It's best to just roll the coach first. You're best always just to roll the coach first, and then you got nothing to lose, and then everything to gain. And everyone else watches you as well out of the corner of their eye to see what you're doing against the coach. I reckon. Yeah,
it's funny you say that, because it's usually the coaches that would approach me first and say, "Oh yeah, Ben, you come and roll with me first." Sweet, definitely, that's awesome.
It should be though, because then they can gauge for the rest of their team. Oh yeah, this guy's way more full on than my team need to have. So you and I just roll together, or hey, I've got this guy over here. You just roll for us because he's going to smash you. Or you're probably going to smash him. It's really good for him and you. Otherwise, there's no challenge. Potentially.
Yeah, let's be honest though. Forrest doesn't have. If you walk on the mat, Forrest he's going after you. Forrest has one speed, one thing. You walk on the mat, you're doing jiu-jitsu.
It's because everyone dodges him at that gym. So when someone new comes along, he's like, "Oh, they don't know who I am."
It was quite funny because we had a visitor come, and it was just like I wrestled hereafter, and he's like, just Forrest was just all over me, and I was like, yeah, he does that.
It wasn't just any visitor; it was Jordan who we had on the show.
Oh, it was Jordan. Sorry, it was Jordan who we had on our podcast, which was really awesome. She come up from Queenstown. She was having a holiday and that kind of stuff, and and I think Bryan must have put a post up there as well. We really appreciate everyone that listens to our podcast. And we even more appreciate it that you come along to the gym and want to meet us and have a roll and all that kind of stuff with the guys. So, look, our door's always open for anyone that want to come along. We're a share space. So, we don't care who you belong to, what gym you're at, nationality, whatever. You're always welcome through our doors anyway. And it's wicked that people now are starting to come through to us doing podcasts. So, it's pretty cool.
Even if you don't wash your belt, I'll still roll with you.
Yeah, that's all right. It's great.
I don't know.
I know where you're heading then in the last question.
Well, they're listening to this every session. I've messaged Bryan as well. I'm just like, oh, that's disgusting.
Look, it's all right, mate. I can understand. It's a small man thing.
Oh, thanks.
Both yeses. Anyway, we'll get back to serious stuff. Come on, Brian.
What are we talking about?
Serious stuff have you got to talk about?
What's what do you focus on? Do you try and just play a lot of guard, or do you try and play a lot of top game?
Nah, so I love guard passing. Like I could guard pass for days, and then just when I pass a guard, then I'll just step back and I'll just try and pass a guard again. And like we've had a bunch of the kind of higher senior guys at GSW that I like to work with and just really focus on guard passing. I like a top game. I like half guard. I feel like I can
Half guard top.
protect myself. No, half guard underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel that's kind of my safe space, especially because we remember years ago, Hayden, we ended up doing a bunch of deep half guard stuff, and I kind of always go back to that, and then
Beautiful technique.
Yeah, because then the other person's weight becomes weightless, because you're focusing on one leg, and okay, one leg might be the same weight as me, but I can feel a bit more comfortable,
Oh, look, I always think half guard it's a 50-50. Whether you're on the bottom or you're on top, it's who's better at it and who's not. Thanks, oh, look at that.
I don't want one. Thanks.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. But yeah, you're right. Man, half guard's awesome. Like, and it for me also too, because I know we'll talk a wee bit about your size, but for a small fella, getting underneath those big dudes, like really easy. You can definitely sweep them quite easily.
Yeah, so I like doing that, and generally just I like playing a top game, pass a guard, stay on top, mount, and then.
Okay. I was just about to say then, how do you think how'd they go when you started competing? Like, because rolling and competing are obviously very different things. But if you're concentrating on just passing guard and then you go back to it again, did you find you pass guard in the comp and then you're like, fuck, I'm not been playing top game after this?
Nah, so that first Nogi one I don't really remember. That was a while ago. But the last one I definitely remember because I ended up going home and writing a bunch of notes about it as well.
Your diary.
Yeah, basically.
Nice. I've got heaps of them. I'm joking, but I do it as well.
Yeah. I bet if he panned around, he'd see a fucking library of like A, B, C, D.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I remember like this guy. I can't remember where he trained. Maybe he was visiting up in Auckland somewhere, and he came down to compete.
Take better notes.
Ended up pulling De La Hiva really quick.
Yeah.
And so I was on, I was trying to pass guard, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this is absolutely fine, absolutely love it. But we ended up getting stuck in a stalemate for ages, where he just kept pulling guard again, and then I was trying to push down the leg and get past, and I could hear Pat in the background just going, oh, grab the leg, put it down, all the time, just giving me feedback. Ended up passing it, got into side control and finished him. So yeah, I didn't need to worry about trying to get past his guard again, but we were stuck in a stalemate for what felt like an eternity, when realistically it was probably only 20 seconds, but you know what I mean though.
Yeah, for sure. It's worse when you've got your go-to pass, I reckon, and then you find something it doesn't work on, you're like, fuck. But it's
because you get so used to just passing one way, and this guy ended up going the other way. I'm like,
whoa, buddy, go back.
Fuck. Yeah.
Hey, we've talked about some of your you named some of your higher ranking people at the gym that you train at now. What about either the younger ones or the blue belts or white belts or even your purple belts that you train with that you think, well, man, these guys are going to be absolute killers. Because this is what this is all about too, is promoting other people's names and people out there.
Yeah. There's so one guy I train with, Luca. He's a blue belt. He's been training for a wee while now. I always have really intense footlock battles with him, and he usually always gets me as well. Because he's just that wee bit longer than I am. That's my excuse. But no, like he's sick. He's definitely one to look out for. He's really good. Yeah, there's so many people. GSW is a huge gym, huge gym. There's so many people, new people coming through the doors all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool then, because it's just, you know, like anything, you've got all these dudes who we talk to, and then, like I say, you're a purple belt, and this is who we want to hear from. We want to hear from just the average Joe Blow, not, you know, eventually you want to get to your black, but you know, we want to talk to those people on their journey, on their way there. You
It's
know,
a long
because
journey.
there's so many cool people that you meet on the way, and just, I don't know, it's, you know, you might just think, oh shit, that guy's really awesome. He's going to do really, really well. You know, or this young fella coming through the juvenile division, he's going to be a killer and that kind of stuff later. And then, you know, 2 years down the track, you watch them and they're
I know that
competing in the blue belt kind of thing, you know, and killing it. So yeah, it's always good to hear about those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Like our gym's huge. There's so many people, so yeah, it's hard to really pick out individuals, especially when I've been training there for the last 3 months as well.
Yeah, fair enough too, mate.
Yeah, I like the gym. I trained there. Oh shit, it's a couple of years ago now. I was still brown belt, and I came up to Wellington for work, and I managed to get a role there. And I was supposed to meet Ben, who was off on surgery, and I did 2 classes back to back. And halfway through the second class, my phone had gone off, and it was Ben saying, "I can't make it because Game of Thrones is on, and I don't want to miss it." I was like, "What? You can on demand that."
No, mate. It was way more important.
Even
Dave came coming.
Dave came about 6 months ago. He was passing through Wellington, and he ended up coming down to Saturday morning to the Nogi class, and I think I missed that one as well. I think I actually
Game of Thrones finished ages ago.
He watched the repeats, mate. Repeats on demand.
Yeah, I think he came down on the Saturday. I think I had work, so I ended up meeting him and his wife for a coffee afterwards. You know. But yeah, he loved it as well. We always get Sam Belkin always comes up for a role as well because he passes.
Yeah, when he's up there for work.
Yeah, he passes through for work. He's funny as well.
Ridiculously good though.
Oh, 100%. But he'll come to like the fundamentals class or like the intermediate class, and he'll just sit there with his t-shirt and his joggers on, where everybody else has got a gi, and he'll just sat there. He'll be sat there like this big bear, just anything, totally, you know, not looking like he doesn't even look like he knows what he's doing, you know. And then like suddenly class will finish and then we'll start rolling. And I'll run for him because I know I want to roll him straight away.
Yeah.
And then other people will be like, oh, what's going on? He'll just be toying with me, and you see other people trying to roll him, and just can't.
For the ones that don't know, Sam, he's a bronze medalist in the Commonwealth Games for wrestling.
Glasgow.
Yeah, in Glasgow. He's also a brown belt, and he's been a brown belt for a very
long time
in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And he's
also one of the nicest guys you can actually meet. And
guys, he's so good, so kind-hearted.
Yeah, so he's really cool. Really loves hearing his knowledge. So if you ever see the bear sitting on the mat, go grab him, Sam Belkin.
Yeah. Definitely.
But just don't let him use you as like the grappling dummy for demonstrations. I did it once for takedowns, and I was like, "Fuck, in this night now, please. I don't know where I'm going. I know I'm landing on the ground. I don't know what's happening. Fuck, I just want to stop."
I used to love listening to his stories when he'd come back from I think it was Russia and the Ukraine kind of area, that thing, after when he was competing and for wrestling and that, and it's just like trained like constantly every day. It's like Jesus, and you think because he's a big boy too. You know, he's not a small boy. He's solid as, and it's just, you know, you look at him and you don't think he could move that fast, and then all of a sudden he's double legging you. You're on the ground, he's on top of you. Holy shit!
He looks unassuming,
Yeah, 100%.
Cool dude.
He's good fun.
Yeah. Okay. So how often do you train a week? When you can?
Yeah, it depends on work. So usually I'll train Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are definite ones that I lock in, and the missus has no say in those.
Till she hears this podcast.
Not even then, because I get away with it. I get away with it on Wednesdays and Thursdays because she teaches yoga. So
I was going to say, she must be somewhere else.
And And then Mondays are the start of the week, so you can't tell me I can't go to jiu-jitsu on a Monday. You know?
I haven't been all week. Yeah.
So yeah, at least those 3. Then I'll also try and get in a lunchtime if I can with work.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so there's usually Pat does like almost like a competition round on one of the lunch times. So that one's always really good to go to. And then yeah, when I can, Saturdays as well. So what's that, 5 on a good week?
It's Saturdays open, Matt?
Yeah.
Or no gi?
No gi open.
Oh, no gi.
Yeah. So yeah, 5 on a good week, and then 3 on a bad week, and maybe 1 on a worse week.
And none of
So you must have found it really hard then over the last 3 months doing nothing.
Yeah.
Eating chocolate.
Well, eating chocolate, yeah.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point where I've got a grappling dummy that I've made out of a pillow and a towel and my gi.
You just imagine the cleaning staff coming up and what the fuck?
That's a good thing. They're not even allowed in our room, so I can't get judged.
Who is this wacko?
I'm cleaning my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be careful when you prop it up somewhere. It doesn't look like it's just sitting there. They'll get freaked. Oh!
Someone looking through the window and there's a body.
And you were sitting going hard on the bed.
I'll just open up the curtains and here's you strangling someone on the thing. Someone across the way goes, oh, he's killing someone.
I wish. How good would that be? I've missed jiu-jitsu. I've missed it. Yeah. It's been a long 3 months, and then that was my excuse for training before, because I was saying to the missus, like, I'm going to be away for 3 months. I got to try and get in as much training as I can. So, okay, on you go. Just make sure the dogs are walked. Fine, good, sweet. See you later.
Put them on the treadmill and just go.
Bro, I've seen that actually. I've seen that on YouTube. They put the old dogs on the treaties and they put a wee bit of food. Goes nuts, man. They were built like tanks too, the dogs. Anyway.
I was an old dog, thanks.
Just don't give your dogs chocolate, man.
No, definitely not. No, I wouldn't do that. But tidbits and everything else they definitely get. And then overfeed them. Because they just look so, so lovingly at you, don't they?
What do you do outside of jiu-jitsu, bud?
Outside of jiu-jitsu, I work. I'm a workaholic. So I love my job. I reckon I've got the best job in the world. So I get paid to work with athletes. I get to work out with them. So when they're injured, so I spend a lot of time in the gym. So yeah, it means that I don't really have to do that in my own time.
You should be on TV as well.
When was I on TV? Oh yeah, I was on TV for my friend.
I seen your picture. Yeah. I'm gonna use it for advertising this one. Because your facial hair looks really defined. You look like Burt Reynolds.
Running across with the highlighter jacket on.
That was for uni, wasn't it? So I finished uni last year. I finished my master's in sports physio down through University of Otago. So yeah, this is the first year now that I've not done uni in 9 years or something ridiculous. So that
you're a big boy now.
Yeah, so that's always taking up a load of my spare time as well. Walk the dogs and surf. Yeah, try and surf as often as I can.
Can we be able to see that one?
Nah,
I'll put it up. You got a lovely pink vest on anyway.
No, that's
he don't even know. He's trying to work out where he got it.
It's from the last game when you guys didn't do too well against
Oh yeah, okay.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were meaning because I was on the news 6 months ago for my master's paper.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man, we got a superstar here.
Yeah.
Look out. You signed my chest.
Just trying to check in the post for this interview as well.
Whose turn is it for questions?
Hayden, you did the last one.
I did the last one. See, I did. I knew I freaking did.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. See? Now, see, that's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner there. He knows because he watches our podcast.
But the last one was Alan. I'm pretty sure. I can't be fucking. Anyway.
The last one was your Geordie, mate.
Alan.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Alan. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was me.
Sorry, I'm rubbish with names. I can
So
pick
so's
up.
Hayden.
Yeah, it's not my bro. Don't worry about it.
All right. So you already answered this one. Open guard or closed guard?
Guard passing. That's not right. Half guard. What's half guard? Is that an open guard or a closed guard?
It's a half a guard.
Yeah. I'd say it's an open closed guard.
Sweet.
From your back, which one do you prefer playing? An open or a closed guard?
Open guard.
There you go.
Thank you. That wasn't that hard, was it?
Hey, 9 years at uni.
I don't give simple answers. You asked me about my jiu-jitsu journey before. That was half an hour in itself.
What's your favorite, like your favorite move in jiu-jitsu? Like favorite sweep submission?
I don't know. I love wrist locks. Wrist locks are good. But yeah, they're all prison rules, aren't they?
Life's a prison, mate. Life's a prison.
That's it, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I love all of it, don't I? Yeah.
You're a lover of jiu-jitsu, bro.
Right. Heavy metal or hip hop?
Heavy metal.
Nice.
Yeah, heavy metal.
What's that? 1, 2, 3,
3.
4. Okay. Listen, Ben was the first person to answer this when I asked it last time, so I didn't even ask him. So whatever. Who's your favorite Tony Hawk character?
Yeah, but we had a debate over this as well.
No, that's why I want to hear what you're going to say now.
Yeah, I like this. Carry on.
Off of any of them, it's got to be Eric Costin.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the first. He wasn't on the first game, was he? We came to that conclusion. But we ended up naming a family dog after Eric Costin because I said so. So.
Okay, that's just gone straight out of my head. Tony Hawk. Yep, no Tony.
I like Eric Costin, so I'm good with that. I got his shoes just quietly, not his own ones. Anyway, moving on.
Well, we know this answer. He's already answered it.
Do you wash your belt?
Yeah, generally I'll try and wash it after every training session.
It's 5 times a week.
Sometimes.
Jeez, man, how can that? You must go. You must go to training with a damp belt.
No.
It's moist, not damp.
Yeah, you just air dry it, and then I try at least once a week, if not more, if I can. Because otherwise it's just disgusting, and then you're sharing those germs. And
it's a sad
ain't nobody got time for that.
It's a sad story.
I'm once a week, but sometimes more than. If I lose every fight, I'll wash it.
What a crock of shit! You're starting to change. Why? Because you keep forgetting your belt, so you leave it at the gym.
Oh no, I've got 2 belts. I leave one at the gym just in case I forget my belt. But I washed it. Before I put it there, so it's alright.
But then my theory is that it fades it and it makes it look like you've been doing it for a lot longer, and
so does time.
I have.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's what someone else said to me. But I reckon I didn't wash mine before blue belt because my white belt was disgusting. I probably should have washed that one. But I don't reckon they wore it any faster by not washing them, or they wear it faster by washing them.
That's just it's the quality of the belt, though, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I ended up buying a really fancy gi one time, didn't I? And then I put my brand new purple belt in the washer. Right?
Oh, it actually looked pretty cool though.
Oh yeah, like it looks tight.
Scooby-Doo would have loved it.
it's my purple white gi.
Oh, Sammy Clinton got I think it was a tatami, and it had the camouflage on it.
Fucking lovely. I
it was nice. And then he did the same thing. He washed it with his purple belt, and it almost tie-dyed in areas.
But it went like a lavender colour as well. It looked quite cool. Like I would look at it and say, "Oh, you got a new gi, man." He's like, "Oh, shut up." Could have been worse. Could have been not let. I don't know. I thought it was alright. Reminded me of lollies.
It's always a classic one where people wash their gis with their belt. Look, if you are going, there's nothing wrong with you washing your belt. But if you are going to do it, don't wash it with your white gi.
But I cracked up when you gave me my black belt, and you knew I was going to wash my belt. And you're like, "Don't wash your gi with this belt. At least 3 washes." Like, challenge accepted. Yeah. I wanted a grey gi so bad.
Yeah, I've got a few of those anyway. Hey, look, Ben, I know you're a very busy man at the moment. And we're taking up a lot of your time.
I'm gonna go from here 2 meters that way, lie on the bed, and continue to just binge watch Friends for the next 6 hours because I'm still on Australia.
But no one told you life
So
was
what,
gonna
6 hours
be
and
that
8
way.
days.
You're halfway through the seasons, probably, because there's a fuckload of those.
Oh yeah, I think
I hope you got Netflix.
Yeah.
How many series have you already watched?
Yeah, a few.
October?
Yeah.
Hey, look, thank you very much for coming on, bud. It's been awesome catching up. Haven't seen you in a long time, so it's been really good doing it on here. Look, make sure that you look after yourself and get back to training, and hopefully we can catch up very soon. For the guys that are listening, GSW is in Wellington. I think they have little offshoots. Do they have offshoots? Do you know, mate, or they just got the one main gym?
Nah, one main gym.
Okay, one main gym. And
Street.
where is it, bud?
College Street. About
College.
3/4 of the way down upstairs. And
Awesome
it's
gym.
it's not the Muay Thai gym. It's definitely the Jiu-Jitsu one.
Yeah. So if you're in, it's in Wellington, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure. So Wellington, make sure GSW. Hopefully you might be able to catch up with Ben up there, and all the great guys and girls that are up there.
We
through.
had Pat on as well. If you want to go back in time, you haven't watched it, listen to the Pat and Amy show on here. They tell you about the rest of the guys that Ben didn't mention because it's rude.
Rude.
There's a bunch.
Terrible.
There's so many good guys there.
Yes, you can't backtrack now. You're very
No, it's too late, man. It's far too late. Get to know you too, man.
Shame.
Obviously he knows Pat because he mentioned Pat a few times.
Yeah, just name drop it here. There, my mate. Yeah.
Yeah, my mate Pat. Yeah. Hey, look, thank you very much, mate. That's really awesome.
Yeah, cheers, buddy.
No, thank you.
And don't forget, 52% masks. We're going to hit it out there. I think it's going to be drawn.
I can't put it on.
Very soon. It'll be on Instagram and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You get your cool mask out there.
All right. So yes, this is the one I've been wearing, and these are the two that we're giving away. So I haven't worn them. Just a disclaimer, they are open because Luna had to open them to put the branding on them, but they're not the same one that I wore. Okay, just put it out there.
Disclaimer. Oh shit,
Yeah.
that got really technical, bro.
Oh no, because when I picked them up, she said, "Oh look, we've opened them," but just to make sure, and then she explained about it. But I'll chuck it up on the post anyway. So
Okay, good man.
Thanks.
You do that.
thanks, Dad.
Again, for the guys that are guys, girls, kids, whoever's listening to Jiu-Jitsu, if you don't like us, that's absolutely fine. Share us. If you do like us, share us. If you want to subscribe, make sure you do that.
I like how you went into an hour into it that says, "If you don't like me, don't listen to it." But I've been listening for an hour.
Oh, look, just go with it, man.
Fuck you.
Okay, guys, sweet as. Thank you very much.
All right, man.
I'm outies. I'm leaving you.
I always forget what this is.